All right. So we are live. Welcome in. Hold on one second. All right. So you got to give me a moment. This is my first time on this platform like this. So, peace, Livy. How are you? All right. Welcome in, everyone. So when you want to talk, you just press the microphone.
Hi, I just need a minute. I've sent you a text. I'm okay.
Okay.
But
No
can you put
problem.
me? Yeah, okay. All right.
Yes, no problem. We're just gonna wait for a couple people to come in, and I'm getting the hang of the platform.
Okay. I'm here. Okay.
Yes. Welcome in. Welcome in. Now, all right. This is our first community discussion, and today we're gonna have an important discussion on women in leadership. And I'm pulling up my YouTube. Very important discussion. Okay, here we are. I need to see y'all comments. I see greetings from the last pharaoh. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope everyone's having a good night tonight. Okay. You said Camilla Harris is a leader? One second. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're going to get started. For the people that's going to catch up, tonight we're going to have a peaceful, powerful, and intellectual build on the importance of women in leadership. Now, the question that we have is, should women be leaders in their family and community? Now, this is an important question. Though some people may feel like, oh, well, that's a simple answer, but you'll be surprised by how many people have different perspectives on this type of topic. Okay. Well, I'm grateful. One second.
Peace and love. Peace and
Peace.
love.
Welcome in. How are you?
All right. How you
Okay.
guys doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. I'm just getting the hang of it. So I'm seeing I have to multitask, but that's not a problem.
Yeah, I've never been on YouTube, so this is all new to me.
Yeah, it's actually new to me too. This is my first time doing it in this type of way. But I'm excited for the topics. It's a very important one.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Definitely has to deal with society. So it's very important.
Yes.
I'm just gonna light some sage up.
Oh, yes. That would be great. Sage the room. I'm trying to wait for a couple more people to come in,
All right.
but we can get started in just a second and basically just go around
Um
between us before others start to come in.
yeah.
Yes. So, okay, let me ask you the question. Should women be leaders in their family and community?
For me as a personal question, I agree. Yes. Yes.
Mhm. Yes. Okay.
Yes. I agree. I would say back then, I would like, without the knowledge that I have now, I wouldn't know how to answer this question. So definitely, as a man, um, definitely knowledge is you definitely need to know type of knowledge to know about the difference between matriarch and the patriarch system. And once you understand that, then you'll understand that the mothers come first.
Mm, okay. I love that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I definitely
So
took some notes down too. So
yeah, and how long have you came across this understanding? How long has it been?
I've been into this information about, I say, 2 years now, fully 2 years. But I
Okay.
think naturally it was working within me just because of the circumstances of being a single father. So I get to feel that other side of the mother, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you're put in that position where you have to
I
kind of
have
make up for that.
right, right. Which is I'm just embracing it. I don't look at it as a negative thing. I used to, like, yeah, this is my karma, but because I you can't really blame it on what I didn't know before, you know. I like my past was foolishness, so because it was a lack of knowledge. So now where I'm at, everything matters to the extent of, purity. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Right. I definitely understand.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everyone.
Word. Peace and love.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
I,
right. So
I
go
have a
ahead.
question. Um, Women are leaders. Not It's not what we should be or should not be. We already are leading and have been leading for generations. That's first.
Right.
And the good brother that came up, I respect you, but the patriarchal thing that you said was, I'm going to share some knowledge. And she had already said we were going to have a conversation and a discussion. So you already put yourself as the instructor and or the leader of the thing, and
Patriarch. Yeah.
that's very misogynistic and patriarchal at the same time.
Yeah. I
And
get. I get.
and the final thing, I was reared by a single father many years before any of you were born. And to think that taking care of your own seed is your karma, I'd like you to elaborate on that. To me, it just seems like the thing to do. If a man and a woman are together and either one of them can't take care, then of if either one of them for whatever reason is not there, the other one should stand up. That's it.
Right. Right. But as of a history of failed relationships, where, for me, I'm like, I failed, and before I was a single father too, with other mothers. So that's why I'm like, this is me. It's I used to think that way. So now I'm like, this is what it is. This is just how it is. So yeah, but so I would like to apologize coming in on that as an instructor, because I'm not here to teach. So I was just trying to express on the knowledge that made me come to this, of knowing.
No apology required. I was just saying that if we're going to have a mutual discussion of all of us here, no one should take the lead except the person who is initiating, as this is her platform. But I appreciate it. So are you saying that you have multiple babies' mothers?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
All right. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Um, we're waiting on a couple more people. However, the discussion today is about women in leadership. And I have a couple questions. The question that is on the title is basically like an introduction to a more deeper conversation about women in leadership. And waiting on a couple sisters to come up here as well. Definitely need to hear your perspectives. Welcome in, MD. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hi, everybody, this
Peace and
afternoon.
love.
I'm great. I'm great. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna start now, and as people come in, we'll come in. So I want to read off basically the definition of a leader. All right. A leader is someone who influences, motivates, and guides individuals or groups towards achieving common goals or objectives. Leadership is characterized by vision, decision making ability, accountability, and the capacity to inspire others to take action. A leader often takes responsibilities for their group's direction, fostering collaboration, and ensures that the needs of the group are considered while pursuing shared success. True leadership involves a balance of authority, empathy, and ability, ensuring progress while maintaining trust and respect. Now the question is, should a woman be a leader of in her family and in her community? Hold on, I see somebody backstage.
Definitely.
Okay. Peace,
Absolutely.
goddess. Welcome in.
Peace and love.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. I'm not sure. All right. So I just want to go around and have the people answer the question. It's a yes or no question. However, if you need to, if you would like to elaborate, can elaborate.
Yes, I do feel like a woman should lead. I feel like both should, but with what you just read, I definitely feel that way. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but hello, I'm Goddess.
Peace and love.
Come in.
I agree as well. Based on that definition, we talk about empathy and emotions and feelings that's required to be a leader. I feel like a lot of women have that inside them. I agree that a lot of men understand that women have that inside them as well. To be compassionate, to have the every great leader is really passionate and emotional about what they're leading the people to, and also the individuals that they're leading. So I believe definitely, and in history, we see so many women leaders. You know what I'm saying? In times of need of males during war. Women were leaders of their homes, leaders of the communities. When males were off dying in wars, it was the women that was in the country. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Revolutionary Wars, Civil War, some of the most bloodiest wars in U.S. history. When those men was dying and did not come back home, those women had to bound together in some type of sisterhood in order to further their families to the future. So definitely that.
Mhm. All right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes. Okay. So this next question is more for the sisters that are mothers. However, if you think about your mother or mothers in general, maybe you can have some input in it. But How do you think being a mother naturally cultivates leadership skills? However, one second. Okay, yeah, I would definitely let the sisters answer this, or I can go and answer. Livy, you have anything to say on this part?
As far as a mother, um, once you have become pregnant, it's your charge to take care of yourself to bring the child into existence for the 40 weeks that this goes on, the pregnancy goes on, and then you have to manage the your home with an infant involved. We're leaders from the beginning. Mothers are leading, and we're the first teacher of our children. So I think it cultivates leadership just by necessity. You know, we teach them how to nurse, how to eat, how to speak. We potty train them, and that has to be juxtaposed against your partnership. And you have to have empathy for the husband who may feel that he's not getting the attention that he used to get. There may be other children in the home, and so it's a whole juggling act. So I see it as um, we are just natural leaders.
Hmm, I definitely agree. So I got a couple things here I want to read off. It says, being a mother naturally builds leadership skills by requiring multitasking, managing household and family needs, fostering empathy and emotional intelligence through nurturing, developing problem solving abilities in day to day challenges, exercising patience and resilience, and honing communication skills to guide and support children effectively. Mothers can also learn to prioritize balance, complete demands, and lead by example, all essential leadership qualities. And I definitely agree, Livy, that it's like a natural thing in being a mother. What's it? Goddess, are you on here? Did you hear the question? Welcome in, Sun Ra. Welcome in, Anthony.
I'm here, baby. I did not
I
hear the
shook.
question
Peace,
because it's
peace,
booting
peace,
me
peace.
out.
I shook.
Hey, goddess, how you doing? Peace.
Yes, I'm great. I'm great. The question is, how does motherhood naturally cultivate leadership skills?
Oh, I think that motherhood, well, I know that you naturally cultivate leadership skills because you have to take a lot of direction from your body to give birth. Um, and you really don't have a say so. So you have to step up and lead in that very moment when it comes to life or death. And I feel like that right there is like, I would definitely follow somebody that gives birth. Um, Especially if you've never given birth to, you're still a mother. You have a uterus, you create life, you know what I mean? So it's a natural thing for all women to have and possess those leadership qualities. But it's also natural for women to want to learn more, to be better with leading their families. And the way that we do that is leaning into our masculines that respect and accept our roles.
Mm, okay, all right. So, um, for the people that are just coming in, the first question that we had is, should women be leaders in their family and communities? What do you think, Sunra and Anthony? One of y'all go first.
Should women? You said should women be leaders in their families?
Yes.
The the woman should definitely use the man as her avatar, just like in ancient times. That's how it was done. All the pharaohs, right, had a woman behind them. You see what I'm saying? So if we implement that, right? Because long story short, the problem is here's the problem. The problem is we live in a way overbalanced society. You know what I'm saying? It's too masculine, right? Niggas worshiping masculine male guys, right? We need to return to. We keep hearing it, but why is it we get so much backlash when we talk about female or goddess worship? You see what I'm saying? Hold on. If I pause a lot, my bad. I'm at work.
That's fine. Okay. Anthony, did you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the woman should definitely be the leader of the household. I think that that is the actual natural way that things should be. You know, the women was always supposed to be the spiritual leader of the family. You know, the men are leaders too, but they're leaders as far as being protectors and providers. But the woman is the one that, as far as like decision making for the household, the direction, the spiritual guidance of the family, you know, I believe that women are and should be natural leaders. And what Sunwa, I feel like what he was saying, I agree. Like we do live in a very masculine, patriarchal society, and what has happened is that we made, you know, the man the spiritual leader, the provider, the protector. You know, so like, so we gave so much emphasis towards the masculine, and we have not given any emphasis towards the feminine as far as her being a leader. So it's been so that's why everything is just so upside down, and that's why everything is so imbalanced right now. So yeah,
And
I
let me add to that.
wholeheartedly agree.
I agree 100 million%. And I've seen this before, right? Because when I was growing up, long story short, I had a lot of so-called white friends, right? So I would go into their neighborhoods and see how they living, right? And guess what? Their women were at home all day. They were basically housewives while the man provided. So the woman had no choice but to be a leader of the household. You see what I'm saying? I wonder where they got that lifestyle from. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
I want to add on. I want to add on to what he was saying.
I
Um,
welcome in, Sensei.
I want to add on to that. A lot of times with the with different cultures, because I had similar experiences as he had, right? You know what I mean? I went into white neighborhoods and been around kicking with white friends and stuff like that. And what I noticed is that by talking to the kids and later on talking to those fathers, is that those males pick those women not necessarily just because they were beautiful or just because they were sexy looking. They picked them because of those leadership qualities that they had. They picked them because they were like advisors, good advisors to that male, and they had that understanding pretty much.
Mm.
Right. We gotta return to that. But I don't want to get off into a tangent. But our families were destroyed on purpose to get our black women to be dependent on them and get rid of the, we've heard it a million times, get rid of the black male, blah 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 blah. So how do we return to that? You see what I'm saying?
Return to what?
Mm.
White women being supreme?
Wait, what? Did I
They
What
ain't
I'm
never been
No.
supreme. Sorry.
turning, can I finish? I'm just
I
clarifying. If
I
we
would
have
never. I don't support. Listen, I don't support. I'm no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
well,
I didn't say
let's
that.
clarify. We have to going back to the day when
White women
white men
supreme.
and there's a hierarchy that was even from in this white America, that the white man's on top, then the white woman is second, and then the black woman is now in there, and the black man is considered the lowest. But the white woman staying home, she's allowed to nurture her children and
Right.
feed them while he's out earning the money to finance them. And I
Right.
think that they come to a partnership, because many of the women that you are mentioning and MD was mentioning, they are well educated women. They are capable of doing secular work and at home work. But we can't, the treatment that women of color get is not the same in this society as white women get. But you also said something
I
in that that said there is no 50-50. There should be 100 and 100, in my opinion. He should give 100% of whatever his resources are, and I will give 100% of mine. 50-50, we short.
Yeah, I agree on that. And to clarify, I agree. I know you probably don't follow me, but no, I don't promote their women being supreme. Not at all. I was saying that we need to return to us as men, Nubian black men, nine ether Nubian black men, being the providers for our women. But we have been put in a situation where we can't do that. We got to both work. You see what I'm saying? That's what I meant, to be clear on what I was saying.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback. And this is just to throw a little bit of thought into. I'm gonna always be unbiased, so I feel like I agreed with what you guys were saying, but I also feel like the men, white and black, have been going back and forth for centuries, and this is how the patriarchic system was created. I feel like white women have never been supreme. They've actually been under white men and black men. I feel like if you look at the stats and you really look at it, white women kind of had to do what they had to do in order to be heard. And even the ones that stay at home and their men take care of them, they're going through it. They're not happy. They're suppressed just like black women, but black women hold everybody up. We created this whole country. You know what I mean? So it's definitely different. There's a power struggle there. But I feel like women in general, I don't care what the race is, we have been suppressed and silenced. And I feel like there was some really powerful white women and some powerful black women, tribes living off the land. I know I got white ancestors. I do genealogy. And I know that they all mixed together and a whole bunch of stuff was confused and all of that stuff like that. But I feel like black men and white men, they in the books, they in the history, they're in their statues everywhere. It's I don't feel like white women have ever been in a supreme position, and that's just my opinion. I feel like it's been black men and white men going back and forth for centuries. And I do agree with the avatar situation, because I feel like if we let our men be the avatar for this time while we go back to counseling them, then like back in the Bible it say be seen and not heard. For women, I feel like we will be heard more if our men take that into consideration, because going out into this world with no protection, you know what I mean. So being at home, what's your name, sweetie? It's Emily. Being at home and yes, being at home and leading. You're welcome. Have a good day. And then allowing the man to use our men as our avatar to protect. I definitely feel like that goes back to the pharaohs and the Kemet ways of living.
All right.
Right.
Welcome in, Sensei. How are you? And
Hello, everybody. I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Peace and love.
doing great. Angel, I sent the link to the group chat too. But okay, Sensei. So the question is, should women be leaders in their family or community?
Absolutely. I think that there is always a place for women to lead um, in any arena. As I was just listening in and heard, a little bit of the conversation, I wholeheartedly agree with the avatar comment. I think that sometimes when you're not the one that is the face of what is being said or projected, you feel like you're not leading. But I feel like we have to understand that leading doesn't always mean you're at the front of the line.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, like it was stated, we can counsel our men in the home. We can lead them from the home, and that will in turn make them stronger when they go out into the world. And I feel like as women, that's our position in leadership when it comes to family.
Can
Mm-hmm.
can I piggyback off that? Because I feel, can
Yeah,
I?
go ahead.
Sorry. Because I feel that happens naturally through when the conception of birth is happening, because natural laws are in place. So I think I expressed this to you before, where women create law and men are to carry out the law. And that's what happens when natural law happens as a child, because that's what mother is doing. Mother is performing natural law, which turns into those four laws as eternal laws. and that creates which structures the behavior of good and evil. If you understand what I'm saying, they push that into the child, whether it's daughter or son.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I do believe that women are supposed to be the ones that's creating the laws, and men are the enforcers and the protectors of that law.
Right.
That is how natural balance is supposed to work. And
Yeah,
we
Yes,
kind of
yes,
fallen off of
yes,
that. Yeah.
yes. Agreed. Yes.
I mean, I feel like we see that naturally happen. Like, when you're in a household and say the mother is trying to, discipline a child. Hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. But they're not listening. Then comes the father to enforce what the mother is trying to already
Yeah.
enforce.
Yes. Yes.
Good point.
Can I
Hey, Angel.
can I chime in? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey panel, how y'all doing?
Peace.
Great.
Peace,
Peace.
peace.
Hey, peace.
Peace, nice to meet y'all. Yeah, so of course I obviously feel as though there's tremendous opportunity for women to take positions of leadership. Um I'm someone who is a bit balanced in the way of I think the avatar concept works perfectly well. If that's the dynamic that a couple chooses to pursue, where the woman creates the foundation or the backing principles, and the man goes forth and he sort of presents that to the world. However, I don't think sometimes I think that we place unnecessary limitations on human beings predicated upon what their gender are, right? So I feel like a woman can just as easily go out and give a speech as a man, right? A woman can just as easily promote or speak and be the face of her organization just as a man can. I don't see any logical reason as to why she shouldn't be able to do that. Um, but yeah, that's just my perspective.
Agreed. Agreed. That was
That's
good.
facts.
Can I add
Facts.
something? Can I add something as well?
Yeah.
When we're talking
Yeah.
about leadership, we've been talking about leadership inside the home. What about when a woman wants her own empire, her own company? What if she wants to lead other people outside of the home in some type of form of business? Should that be looked at as well?
That's a good point. That's a
Because what
very good point.
we've been talking about,
For sure. For sure.
yeah,
And
because
that
we
should be encouraged. That should definitely
Yes.
be encouraged.
Yes.
okay.
That's where balance comes in. I feel in partnership. If your man know that you got to go outside the home to provide or do something that you love to do that does provide, then that should be definitely respected. And he could pull the weight while you're not there. You guys got to work together, make a schedule. Make a constitution for your nation inside your home.
Right. Right.
Love that.
I mean, yeah, the way I look at it too, like the women, she operates on the fifth dimensional realm. You know what I'm saying? So everything and stuff that she wants, if she wants to build a nation, you know what I'm saying? She's basically trying to manifest that in the spiritual realm, in the physical fifth dimensional realm. And the man, because he operates in the third dimensional realm, he's going to be the one to enforce that, to actually be that manifester for her. So if she wants a nation, the man is going to make sure and build that nation for her. And he's
Mm,
also going to make sure that it's protected and defended. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Now, now,
facts.
wh- now, can I ask a question to the brother? Now, why wouldn't you place the mothers into the sixth dimension? Because that
Uh,
sixth dimension is where God is. That's
Come
where
on now.
God conscious is, and the mother is the most divine source in this planet. So she is the one where life comes out of the portal. She has the life portal. She carries it. So if and that's God created that. So we should always place on the higher steps with the most high at all times. And that's where we can lower our egos to the patriarch and get rid of that and put mother up front.
Are you saying? Are you
right,
saying that
right.
she? Are you saying
Yeah,
that
I wouldn't
she's
disagree
got?
with
Hold
that.
on, hold on.
I
Are you
wouldn't
saying
disagree with that at all.
real
Yeah.
quick? Are you saying that
Okay.
she's God?
No, the sixth dimension is God conscious. So God, everything that comes from God goes through the mother, because that's she is God's source. She's a source of God.
Okay, and then also another
Yes,
question: Why?
sir.
Hold on
Why
one
only the? Oh,
second.
go ahead. Go
Hold
ahead.
on, Summer. Anthony, you want to answer that first question?
Yeah, yeah, I'm not. I won't disagree with him. I mentioned the fifth dimension because that's where you basically where everything is. Whatever you want out of life or whatever you want to create, is actually there in the fifth dimension, and you have to pull it from that dimension into the third dimension. But him saying that he wanted to place the woman, spiritually on the sixth dimension, because that's where the God consciousness is. That's not something that I disagree with. I agree with you too with that.
Okay.
I believe the women is God. So yeah, I'm in alignment with that, with what he just said.
Okay.
Yes.
I,
Sunra, you had a question?
no, I think it's just a matter of technicality because we deal with nine. So if he's saying six, that's fine. So I think it's technicality. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Can I
Okay.
add something? Can I add something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like a woman, of everything that everybody said about how special the woman is and all the things that she possesses, I feel like
Mhm.
the woman should be able to rise as far as she possibly can. If there's a seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 12th dimension, then she should be able to rise that. And the relationship with the man should not subjugate her to be in a certain spot based on what he's comfortable with.
Mm, yes.
I love
Facts,
that. I agree.
facts.
But check this out. Check this out. Here's the problem. It starts with the men. The men are the one who promote number one, male gods. It starts with God, right? Most men worship a male god. So the fact that most men worship a male god, it's going to be hard to promote a woman as leader, blah 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 blah, when their entire life has been man, 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 man.
Mhm.
So I'm saying,
Oh
so you
yeah, we
gotta you
ain't
gotta
saying it's
change
gonna be
the
easy. It's
you
definitely
gotta
gonna be
change
hard.
you gotta change the mentality first.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, because even in the scriptures, they got him,
Right,
he.
right.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Right.
Okay, so that's kind of in relation to this next question. Uh, Do you think American culture or religion has affected our way of viewing leadership and women in leadership?
So just like I said earlier, to keep it very simple, and I'll let somebody else speak. It's this whole what's the word? Subconscious homosexuality. That's AKA Christianity, because it's all about male worship. So I'm
Oh
saying,
wow, I'm so glad a man said that. Thank you for bringing that up.
That's deep.
hey man, hey, you gotta follow me. I've been talking about this. You gotta follow me on Instagram. I've been dropping it on that.
I
You know what I'm
got you.
saying?
Got you.
It's all
Come
good,
on
but
now.
that's what's really going on.
I definitely think that the perception of leadership has been severely warped. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I think that leadership has been taken to mean oppression or having complete authority and dictatorship over another being. I notice there's a heavy obsession with dominance and submission, or um, one being superior over the other, right? Which I don't think that that's how leadership was initially intended. But yeah, so that's how I think leadership in general was affected.
Right. And can I touch on that? Because I truly believe um, the Europeans just went crazy with the patriotic system, and they embedded it into us. Um, they embedded it into the man. So it came as the Europeans because they love war. So and then as us coming up as wherever that notion of slave, and then they preached the Christianity as the brother was saying, and then they picked up on the patriotic system, and then that's when we picked up on the structure of how their homes should be.
Mhm.
Right. In order to conquer a people, you gotta kill their god. So they had to kill the goddess first. You know what I'm saying? And then they put up their god. Now they got you niggas on their knees worshiping another man and thinking that's normal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, for real. That's so true. I find out. I thought it
Mm.
was interesting because back in the Kemet, in the ancestral days, I learned that, and I don't know if anybody else knows this, but I know that the Europeans brought over the term wife, which is the submit, hold, be a beta, silence yourself, suppress yourself type of energy. I didn't know that. I just learned this that you know, back in the day, the queens were called queens for a reason. They weren't called his wife because the king had a wife, but she ain't had no voice. But the king that had a queen, the queen had her own kingdom and she was also royalty. So they respected each other as such. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like that Lilith and Eve energy, where Eve was the more submissive one and Lilith was from the same place as Adam. You know what I'm talking about? She was the same as Adam, like on the same level as Adam. And then that's when the jealousy and all that stuff came in. But that's their book too. So it's like you said, it's the conditioning, and the terminology and the spells and all that stuff.
Right, because just to, sorry, but even queen etymology means whole. So we choose words like empress and highness and majesty and stuff like that. It was more
Right,
like, so
right.
it goes way deep. The spell goes way deep on the words. So it goes layers and words and
Yes,
meanings.
yes, it does.
That's why I'm big on me personally. That's why I'm big on everybody. If you really about that life being so-called conscious, being so-called woke, study your language. Why you niggas love English so much? Our language opens up your mind to another level because we have word. We don't right. She was right. We don't even got the word wife in our language. We say Zamaltat, which means sister, or divine half, but we don't got no word for no wife. So she right about that.
All right. So, do you guys see a difference in how an honorable man leads versus honorable woman leads? Because men and women should be leaders, but there's a difference between. Do you feel like there's a difference, and if so, could you elaborate? And I'll say what I have. So when doing research and just through my experiences, women tend to lead more with integrity, compassion, and fairness, and upholding strong morals and values. So it's more like a feminine energy leads like that, and we can all have masculine and feminine energy in us. Women are the feminine energy usually leads with by example and showing respect to others, have a collaborative mindset, inclusive mindset when it comes to making decisions, sustainable mindset. And um, and from the masculine energy when it comes to leadership, uh more he okay, it says, let me just read what I have right here. An honorable man leads with integrity, respect, and fairness, making decisions based on strong moral principles. He practices accountability, values the input of others, and leads by example, showing empathy and strength while supporting and uplifting those around him. Now, there would be a difference between an honorable man and a patriarchal way of leadership, like a healthy masculine way of leader and an unhealthy masculine way of leadership. Do you guys see the differences?
For sure, I know I do. Yeah, I feel like
Just
that's where the toxic masculinity comes in, where you started off with like the empathy and compassion and leading with those tools because we are humans. So expression, emotion, and all that stuff comes with our being, comes with this vessel. So I definitely feel like if the man does not have the security within self, then that is where, that stuff is gonna come out. And when your security system is jacked up, your insecurities is gonna come out. And that goes for any human. So I definitely feel like women carry that toxic masculinity that are not in touch with themselves, and men do too, if they haven't, done the work.
And you know
Yeah.
what? You said something. Look, you said something that was important. We over here talking about. I think we're skipping a step. Niggas, we talking about leadership, but most of these people are not leaders. They need healing first. We assuming that everybody's a leader and they're not. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We're dealing with a population that is broken, that needs to be healed first. So we need to be talking about healing first, and then maybe we can talk about leading. You know what I'm saying? Because most when you look around, most people are now they're followers. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, a
I
lot of people are followers, yes.
that's true.
However, if a woman is producing, if a man is producing children, then they have to
Yeah.
step into leadership, and they're leading no matter how,
Hmm.
if they lead in bad or good or,
Yep.
backwards or forward.
But let me ask
So,
you a question. Let me ask you a question. How can
yes.
if you're a beta male, you know what I'm saying? How can you all of a sudden become an alpha just because you got a child? You see what I'm saying?
There's, hold on, I'm not sure your definition of beta and alpha, but
Okay,
a
baby.
beta could be a leader too.
Okay, so
Um,
like alpha. So let's like in high school, right? In high school, it's obvious you can tell which one of these niggas are alpha, which one of these niggas are beta. An alpha is somebody who everybody is around, right? You know what I'm saying? That's an alpha. The head honcho, the one that's leading the group. And the beta niggas are the niggas that's following. Now we've all been in school before. We've all seen this play out, and it's still playing out. And where we're expecting these betas who have that beta DNA to try to be leaders just because they got kids.
But
Let's keep this shit.
okay.
I
Let's
think
keep the shit
that
real. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real.
I,
But go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think that like sis said, I feel like beta men and women can also lead within the confines of whatever arrangement they have around. It's very rare that you'll see two beta people together. Like nine times out of ten, if you a beta somewhere, then you got an alpha or an omega somewhere, whether it's a man or a woman. I do feel like I understand what you're saying, but I can also see how like I'm an alpha woman. That means I need an omega mega. But at the same time, if I've had relationships with beta men and I still have those relationships because of the compassion, the nurturing, the care that they have like innately. Like, that's what makes them a beta. Like I used to date this guy that was a cancer. And most cancers, I mean, they're the moon. They're the most feminine. Like they can't be anything but they are, because they have a lot of emotions and they come off really strong, but they're so tapped into their emotions. A lot of women can relate and talk to them. They have a lot of friends, male cancers especially, but they're very emotional. Nobody's really there to talk to them. So then, you know what I'm saying? So I've been in situations where, and I have a really close relationship with a beta male, and he's very much so like tapped into his emotions, and he's very much so tapped into his femininity, even though he's straight and he only likes women. So I feel like it can go either way. I feel like it's really important for us as people to allow people to play their roles so that the natural ecosystem can revolve and evolve into the natural leader stepping up and understanding, because it's things we can learn from betas too.
And there's another thing that's called a sigma, another way of being that is called a sigma, and you would lead through by example, basically. Lead through your own
Okay,
independence
teach
and
me
honoring
something.
yourself.
Okay, Sigma.
However, I think that the mindset of leadership being, if someone was an alpha, they would be the leader, is a part of the mindset that we have to transition from. So when I look at, and this is going to be our next, well, one of our next discussions about patriarchy and matriarchy. But when we look at patriarchal systems, they usually have a certain type of hierarchy that doesn't include balance, and it makes it where it's one person or a certain amount of people at the top and the rest of the people at the bottom. When we come to the matriarchal mindset, it's more like a balance, a circle. Somebody can, if somebody is a good leader in this way or a good leader in that way, we're still able to come together, and it doesn't have to be one person being an alpha. If they're an alpha, they'll be respected for what they bring to the society that we're creating. But that don't mean that they're better than everybody or that they're above somebody else and all that. They're just good at what they do and what they bring to the table. So it is important for us to transition out of a lot of different mindsets into new ones. So with patriarchy, matriarchy, American society into our American culture, into our own culture, um, understanding leadership style, understanding like communal mindset. There's many different things, and something else was slipping my mind, but many different, like capitalism and individualism into like a community mindset and a real resourceful mindset to where we're all coming together more so and supporting each other instead of out for self.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that the matriarchy structure reinforces an egalitarian culture,
Yeah.
in a matriarchy. But a patriarchy always creates hierarchies
Yep.
where someone on the top and then there's someone in the bottom, and then that's when the whole situation just kind of goes to crap because of that.
Right.
And you see how the world is being ran right now
I was
because of these type of hierarchies and everything.
I
But
was
if we come back to a matriarchy, it would just reinforce a much more unified egalitarian type of culture and stuff, and it's going to be much more harmony within that.
So you
Yes.
talking about? So are you saying you guys talking about bringing communism in?
no.
No, no, no. I mean,
What?
But hold on,
bringing
wait,
back.
hold on. Time out. If you
Uh,
break down real quick, she mentioned community, right? If you break down the word communism, you see the word community. So basically, you guys talking about communism, right?
Well, I think there's more to
I think we're
communism
talking
than
about
that.
communing.
but that's more of a
Commune is
political. That's
But
more of a
communism
again,
is not
if
in
you
the
political
word
structure.
community. Commune is though.
commune, but the word commune, but what is a commune though? So
What
you
is
see what I'm saying?
ism?
Exactly, facts. What is that? We got to
Why
break
put
down these.
ism on the end of commune? Why put? I mean, unity is on the end of commune too.
Fair
So
enough. So what would we call the system then?
I think they're rooted in
matriarch,
similar
Egalitarian.
principles.
Say it
I mean,
again.
it's
Say it
the
again.
matriarch,
Okay. So
matriarchal
matriarch.
principles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, because the matriarch, if you like the brother said, where we're at now, if you look at society, is a bunch of patriarch suckers that don't know how to govern. You look at it, you can see it at the White House. You put the matriarch, you could just look it up on Google too. It has the word govern in it. So naturally, that's what it is. Mothers know they structure uh, our children to run into society, and that's governed. That's governed by mother. So I believe in that.
Okay.
Yeah, and a patriarchal man or patriarchal woman, they're not going to be able to create an egalitarian society. That's why you need a matriarchal structure, because that will itself enforce an egalitarian society. The way a matriarch leads is going to be, thinking about everybody else. It's going to be inclusive of everybody else's feelings and thoughts and everything. So it's just natural that way.
Now in history, have we seen examples of matriarchy,
Definitely.
or just some new shit? What's going? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was just
Yeah.
looking up
You
earlier.
don't even got to go to history, but
There was that right now there's 5 societies that run matriarchic societies. There's one in North India, one in China, one in Indonesia, one in Ghana, and Costa Rica.
And are they thriving? What's going on with them?
Yeah, so right now the Kazi tribe is is a bunch of mothers, and they are that's why they these 5 matriarchs popped up. So that's why they are thriving. The ones in the ones in Indonesia, um I don't know if you guys watched the video, but there's like, I think the mothers, right? There's a whole tribe, and then they have like these huts, and then in the hut there's not enough men for their society. So now they have men who go in the hut 2 at a time, that structure they basically husbands to this whole hut of women, because the yeah. So I don't know if you guys watched it, but
I think you're talking about a walk-in marriage, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And they get to trap, they go to the, like, they those 2 men don't strictly stay to that one hut. They go to on to the next hut. It's like a cycle.
However, creating our own society as matriarchs, if people are doing a matriarch society, they may look different between each society.
Culture wise, yes.
Yeah,
right.
culture wise.
Yeah, the Queendom of Sheba, that was known to be a matriarchal and a polyandrous society.
Mm.
Mhm. Okay.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was just checking my mic.
All right. Okay, let's go on to another question. On everybody on the panel, do you guys feel like you are leaders in your family and community?
I feel like I lead myself. I don't look at myself as a leader.
Okay.
Definitely over here. Definitely.
Definitely,
Yeah, definitely.
for sure.
Yeah, I
Working
lead
on
my
expanding.
yeah, I lead myself. So I
Yeah.
always see myself as that as a leader.
Yes, definitely. All right. When we think about the future and the next generations, how can we, be sure to raise the next generation to honor their own sense of self and leadership?
I can answer that. Can I answer?
Yeah.
Um, I feel like if we go to the black families, I think this is what needs to stop. I think when kids grow up, I think we need to be in some type of environment in the household, in some type of partnership with individuals, and let the child become and flow into whatever they start to desire to be able to do. And like, I'm not saying that go out here and hurt people and stuff. Like, just say a kid wants to play the oboe, right? People in the family should not ridicule that kid because that kid is not doing something that has already been previously done. So a lot of times in the black families and things like that, they'll look at something that's different because when the kid comes out, they're a revolutionized version of the parents. So their position in life is to be better than their parents. So a lot of times, we get into certain type of cultures and families and things like that where we stop that growth and that development and what the child wants to be able to do. So I feel like we should all within the family structure be able to pour into the child in a direction that that child wants to go. You know what I mean? If the child wants to be a librarian, if the child wants to play drums in the basement, as parents and as people in the community, well, in the household first and then the community second, we should be instilling those things inside the kid. And the kid is going to tell us what they need from us. So if the kid is playing drums in the basement, we may not necessarily understand what the drums do and all that type of stuff, but the kid is going to be like, take me to drum class, sir. I need these I need these type of sticks, or I need this type of drums to be able to improve my skill level, and then flow with the kid.
And they got these schools. And check it out when you get a chance. But they have these schools, of course, mainly available for white folks, but nonetheless, where the children, they're not assigned anything. They are allowed to pick whatever that resonates with their personality, and that's how that school operates.
Everybody still there?
Huh? What do you say?
Yes, we're still here, and yeah, that's nice. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, yeah. For real.
I feel like
I agree. I feel like we are. I haven't really heard the women speak on like the white and black thing, but I feel like that has been such a distraction. The conversation about matriarch and patriarch, I feel like is the actual thing that we should have been focused on. Like as a people, I'm saying like the color, the race thing has been such a distraction, and I feel like that is what started a lot of the war. But underneath, like the root of it all, is really the matriarch patriarch thing that we're actually discussing.
But
But
that comes.
Mm,
But real
I
quick, real
feel
quick.
like now that we are where we are right now, and even in a lot of literature and a lot of books, and it's a lot of knowledge on this type of power struggle. If we don't unsubscribe to uh, the way that we're teaching, because they following us anyway, they gonna follow. Like, but if we don't unsubscribe to the way that we're teaching because of the way that they retaught us, then we will end up with the same shit that has been happening over and over and over. Like coming back this
mhm,
time to this planet, like there needs to be love is the answer. Period. Period. I don't care what race you are. That's what we were before
mhm,
they came. They turned us
mhm,
into fucking monsters because they seen our heart. We accepted them. We taught them everything. We showed them Mother Nature. We have to go back to that.
mhm.
right,
Forward
right.
Right.
to
I
it. My
agree.
bad.
Hey, real
Um,
quick, real
Yes,
quick,
forward.
real quick. The main reason why race is always brought up is because you got to understand each race behaves, they have their own nature. If you look at European races, they're patriarchal by nature. If you look at Nubian races, they're matriarchal by nature. That's why you got to always deal with what is the nature of these beings? What is their DNA? What is their genetics? Why do they behave the way they do? That's why you always got to consider that, no matter
Let
what.
me ask you. Let me ask you. What does
Of
that mean
course.
for you?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
What you just said. Repeat what you just said,
Okay.
so I can give you a specific.
Okay, fair enough. Matter of fact, I'll keep it simple.
Okay.
Every race is governed by a nature based on their genetics. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So
So
okay.
hold on,
Well.
hold on,
Okay.
real
Okay. Okay.
quick.
Sorry. Go
So
ahead.
real quick, it's all good. So Europeans have different DNA. So
Uh huh.
it makes them more aggressive and
Uh huh.
it makes them more patriarchal.
Uh
Long story short. But go ahead, you got a question.
huh. Okay. I love
Yeah,
that.
hold on.
I was
Can
just
we?
saying that.
Hey,
If
okay, let's do this. Let's finish what Angel, because Angel's gonna answer the question we had before this question,
Okay.
and then go into that. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I was really liking to build on like how to how to harness and cultivate the leadership mentality in the future generations, right?
Yes.
I noticed that a lot of y'all spoke about like cultivating the talents and the individuality within the children themselves, which I think is amazing. But I also feel like what seemed to be missing for me growing up as a child was a sense of community and a sense of purpose, right? Um,
Mhm.
I grew up being taught to follow your dreams, to go do whatever it is that you want to do in life, go to college, whatever. Um, but there was never a sense of my life is important and valuable and influential to beings outside of myself, right? I was kind of raised up to believe that you kind of go to college and then you separate from your family and you start your own life. And it's a very individualistic mentality. So I personally want to see us explore creating a more communal mindset, that your life isn't just your life. The things that you do don't just affect you, they affect everybody in your family, your community, your society, and thus the world. Um, I don't know. I just wanted to get into that communal mindset.
Oh yeah, and it's very much needed.
That,
All
Yeah,
right.
I agree. I agree with that for sure.
Anybody else have something on how we can raise the next generation to better honor themselves and their own leadership and their autonomy,
Yeah,
basically?
that's what I was gonna tap on. That's what I was starting to say, but I was saying that raising the next generation, I see so many of us have already integrated. Like our DNA is in everybody. The only ones that can birth all those generations, don't matter what color, skin, it don't matter who they are, is women. And I feel like all of us women have the same portal, and that is the only way any human can come through this mug. But the only woman that births all those different types of genetics is a black woman. So if
Mhm.
birthing all those different types of genetics and just one of those genetics that makes them patriarch, I just feel like that's a learned mindset. I feel like everyone is from nature. And some of us, which may be the melanated beings, may not even be from here. We may be from here, they may be from somewhere else, but guess what? We are intercoursing with them, we're having babies with them. We cannot control everybody that is our color, apparently. This is how we got here, and niggas is shaking hands with the devil. But what I'm saying is that who is the devil? Like the separation got to stop. I feel like that's how we are going to cultivate a better generation, a better century, a better world. That's just my opinion. Because, like Sis said, all of us are connected, and everything we do affects each other. And
Can I ask you a
Yeah.
Yeah,
question? Do you
yeah.
believe in separation? Do you believe in separation or coexistence? Beloved.
yes, I agree.
No, I was asking. I was asking.
Yes, we should definitely be able to coexist without tearing another person down, without Vikinging it out, going and taking somebody's land and doing all of that extra stuff. We should definitely learn to coexist. You over there, I'm over here. You know what I mean? I don't feel
Yeah.
like we should trample over anybody's way of life unless it affects my family. Of course, like then you're gonna see the mama bears come out. But we want to stop that from happening because we should be protecting each other within our household. You know what I mean? And not like always preparing for war.
Yeah, I feel like
Yes.
as far as like
Mother Earth is
yeah,
tied. She tied. She ain't got no color. Mother Earth is tied. She tied. She got all the colors.
yeah, I feel like basically like the Caucasian race, they're a much more younger type of race. So they wasn't able to experience a matriarchal structure. When they came into being, it started out
There you
for them
go.
patriarchal. And they learned, you know what I'm saying? They learned from us, when we was in a fallen state, when we began to become patriarchal, and they learned that patriarchal from us, that patriarchy from us. So they've never experienced how harmonious it was to be in a matriarchal society like us black people. So I think that we have to basically build ourselves up, go back into the original order, which is matriarchy, and then after we have ourselves together, then we can be able to teach the younger races, which are the Caucasian, how to do things. Because eventually we have to like become global, but we got to actually be the ones that's leading them, and we got to get ourselves together first and go back to and remember the type of system that we had before, where we before we fell into patriarchy. So that's what I feel.
I
And yes, and these type of conversations are inclusive, and that doesn't mean that we all have to agree with everybody and everything, but be able to come together and share our own perspectives. Also, see how other people are thinking, and see who you resonate with, or if you can take something and go within, see if you resonate or you don't. However, some of the ways that we can raise the next generations to honor themselves and to be autonomous in their leadership is to lead by example. And because we might not realize how much just the way that we act around the children, how we interact with others, what we do, how much that teaches them without actually sitting down and explaining certain things. Our actions alone teach them a lot. So upholding integrity, empathy, and accountability, um, teaching them the value of collaboration and that communal mindset of helping others. When they see you help others, that they're gonna want to help others as well. Honoring themselves and encouraging them to like critical think. Um, so a lot of times, I think even in parenting, we might come across into like a patriarchal way of doing things. When it's like, oh, it's my way or the highway, whatever I say goes. And it's just certain things that we can actually like learn from our children a little bit more and be more inclusive when it comes to children too. Basically just taking matriarchal principles and honoring that within your household can help with cultivating those leadership skills that is in all of us, I believe. Everybody should lead themselves, should be able to, but however, I believe culture and religion, society has an effect on how we think about that. Um, yeah, and just mentoring them through different challenges, talking to them. And one thing I like to do is yeah, like mentorship, helping them create like do make the best choices they can make for themselves, instead of me like, oh, instead of me making the choices for them, give them the information so that they can make the best choice for themselves, and help them through challenging situations, instead of be like, oh, you did that wrong. Show them how to do it right, and focus on solutions, have a solution oriented mindset, um, when it comes to parenting. And yeah, giving them different opportunities to take responsibility too.
right.
Yeah.
I would, if I can,
Yeah.
I like to go back what Angel said, and one of the most important things, because I'm into healing. So I think that's the major point in the mothers. I'm not trying to put it all on the mothers, because, well, then again, it kind of sort of sounds like that, because mothers, like we're stating, I think all of us agree that mothers set law. So if it starts with the healing of the mothers, then the mothers can upbring the matriarch, if you get what I'm saying, and then the men can help protect the matriarch. So I think everything happens by natural law and natural existence. So if we can get rid of and fade away from the patriarch and then deal with the natural things that we're used to, and then heal from all what was put on us, and then deal with the natural things that, like, cultivating, and mothers being more spiritual and aligned with the moon, and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because once she gets to know herself through the universe, then she can really cultivate this world herself. You know what I mean? She can form and move the world. Men just they that whole thing when they say men rule the world. Well, I don't believe in that, but I believe women make the world move. They literally do, and we just make sure it's riding. So I definitely believe as soon as mothers get the fixing, then the world will start fixing itself. Because I come from a mother. I'm pretty much sure that all of us do. And then just on a personal level, I'm a single dad. I had him since birth. His mom left him in the hospital and from 7 years old. And I could tell you right now, like, that's all he wants. That's all he wants is his mom. And I can't force nobody to be his mom. And I could tell you it does have an effect. It does have an effect when mom is not there. The most. Like, I feel like that's the most detrimental thing that can happen to a child, is not having those laws put in place, those things, the skin to skin, the breastfeeding, all that can ruin the emotional skill of a child, and hurt them. So I believe that mom is the number one thing to be healed.
Definitely.
Can I add something to
Definitely.
what he said?
Yes, go ahead.
I want to add on is how do you heal the mom? Where's the solutions to heal the mom?
Well,
That's I think what we're doing now, coming together with sisters that understand leadership, understand that they should be the best leader that they can for their family. And yeah, sisterhood helps with that. And then we did talk about solutions, because the question is, how can we raise the next generation to honor themselves and their leadership and their autonomy, and also just making sure they understand autonomy from a young age. But
I
yes, the mother, we have to come together as sister and sisterhood, and you know,
just aligning. I think aligning herself with who she is that's just the first step of healing for herself. And then the other things, as
mhm, yeah.
far as being conscious of what she's eating and what she's throwing in her body, and how she's releasing her toxins. You know, just being more conscious of what she is and how she is will help her control what's next in life.
Mhm. Welcome in, Liberty.
Yes, I would like to piggyback off of that. I'm sorry. Is
Mhm.
somebody else about to say something?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like that you just said that, because I feel like our periods are like the next thing after birth, and I feel like that cleansing and those toxins, we are the ones that carry that, and that is why we shed every month, to cleanse the entire home of the energies that are not supposed to be there, and the energies inside of our bodies that we've consumed, blah 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 blah, etc. etc. And I feel like as women, we need to take our periods more serious. I know back the ancient way, when it was matriarch, the women would go out into nature. Every woman in the tribe, their periods and their menstruals were synced up with the moon, and they would go out into nature, leave the tribe, the kids and the men, and they would go bleed together in nature, and then they wouldn't come back until their periods are over. That's how sacred your period is. You know what I mean? I feel like that blood that we shed every single month needs to be taken more serious and more sacred. I
Right.
feel
The
like that's
moon.
one of the ways that we can heal. Yeah, go
Right.
ahead. I'm
The
sorry.
moon is the mother's tool to her balance. As soon as you can get that aligned, and you got it caught, like, okay, I know the full moon is coming, then I know where my menstrual is going to happen. That's being more aligned with yourself, and then you know that you have to detox before that menstrual is going to happen. then you know you could start their balance and form. Because I know what we said earlier is that the main thing is that taking the man out of the home. I truly believe that the main attack is on the mother, because most of the things that we eat is to attack the mothers so she wouldn't give birth. Most of the things, even birth controls, it stops it. Like, there's new studies out that where it destroying the mother's bodies. And a lot of foods that she eats, a lot of clothing that she wears, um just even recent, the tampons, they're doing things to the tampons, and now it's ruining the mother's uterus, and where she can't even give birth. So I believe the attack is definitely on the mothers. I truly believe that it's both ways, but I truly believe that they don't want the mother to conceive any more of divine beings, because that's what they come out as. The children are divine by law, by God.
Can I add something to that?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, if the woman is under attack, then maybe the males that's in those relationships, or the males that's in the community, should find a way, a solution to stop those attacks of the women. Like go like just how you just said that. If men know it's the tampons, then the males in the community should go after the tampon companies that's producing it. They should be able to find a way of shutting that shit down.
Period.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm
Yo,
saying? That type of
man,
thing.
I truly, because I've been saying this, because I'm in the community with some Moors, and they study law. So I'm like, if you guys study law, right? Why you guys not up at the Capitol, and you guys are so profound with this law stuff, right? Why you not stopping the litigations of these legislations that they putting out? Why you not battling them at these places of legislations where they're hurting us? That's where we should be at. So ever since then, I appreciate that comment, because that's what I do. I shared information on just the mother herself. I study the mother, and I think that's another thing. That's another thing that men should be doing, is studying the mother so he can know her. And the mother should be, well, the mother is always going to naturally know who her child is. So, but if you study the mother all the way down to her uterus and how she bleeds and menstruals, and her mind and mental works, and even the ones that are by Aries, and like that. If you study her, and if you know, then you know what woman is supposed to be with you, and what woman you're looking for, and what woman you're gonna hold as a family to protect her in the matriarch that she's trying to bring up.
Yes, definitely. I'm gonna say one more thing with that too. I'm gonna go after what you said. So the thing with protecting the matriarch man and protection is, protection has to go to its highest level, meaning that you have to destroy the threat. You know what I mean? Whatever it is threatening your family. Whatever it is to threaten the kids and the, how you saying, the woman. Once you learn the woman and understand these foods and all these things, you have to go out there and destroy the threat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not just keep on protecting. You gotta go out and, if you gotta destroy the threat, and then put up some type of wall or some type of defense so that should have never happen again.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, Justin.
I
I
appreciate this.
love the passion in y'all
Yes,
voices.
yes. I'm good. I love it. I appreciate
All
Angel
right.
what he's saying, because he touched a bunch of points on the healing part, and that's why I wanted to touch on that. But man,
Right.
peace and love to this panel. I appreciate y'all.
Grateful, gratitude. The next question is, how has a woman's advice or mentorship helped you in your life?
I can answer that. Well,
Okay.
in my specific life, I mean, I grew up. I didn't have a father. So the women, my granny and my auntie, my mom, my aunties and my mom, they pretty much raised me. And what they did was they taught me um, how to take care of myself. So for an instance, like if the dishes is on the table, my granny used to always say like, "I'm not about to be your slave. You better pick up your own food. You better a king is supposed to be able to take care of itself. You need to, you know what I mean, cook your own food, clean your own castle, get the trash out the yard and all these different type of things." So she was telling me what a king is not supposed to do, which transformed me into a king myself. So without that teaching and everything like that, I would have been like food to the wolves out here in the jungle in Milwaukee growing up. Because it was the women in my family kept telling me, like, and it also was a fear thing too. Like, you know what I mean? I like my granny instilled some type of fear in me where when I went out to school and everything, it was like, man, before I do this and skip class, I gotta think about the repercussions of my mother. I gotta think about the repercussions of my auntie. Like, you know what I mean? You'll get spankings by all the females. You know what I'm saying in the house like that. So it was that motherly fear that changed me to not do certain things that males was doing out there, the world. And they also taught me how to be able to appreciate women, how to love women, how to listen, like you know what I mean, not being afraid to take advice from women. And then when I started looking at that growing up, and I started looking at dudes that wasn't taking advice, they were going to jail. They were dying. You know what I'm saying? The dudes was calling their girls from jail. I mean, and everything like saying like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I should have listened to you," like going back. But the woman was always ahead of being able to see kind of like the futuristic type of thing. So that really helped me a lot because I learned how to be a gentleman. I learned how to be a man being taught by other women. I didn't learn it from other men. So that helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm. All right, somebody want to go next?
I mean, I've always learned from a woman and stuff. I've always had great reverence for a woman's perspective and her intuition because I truly believe that women are psychics and we call that women's intuition, but that's really like a lower grade level of her being psychic. Back in the golden age, women were complete psychics and they was actually able to like speak to each other in telepathy. So I've always had a really great reverence towards women. Like with my mother, anytime I'm about to do something that is going to kind of get me into trouble, her grandmother will speak to her in a dream and will let her know that I'm about to get into some stuff that I'm going to regret. And my mother will call me and be like, what are you up to? My grandma, I just dreamt my grandmother and she's telling me that you're about to do something. And I'm like, damn, how did she know? So I've always had a really great reverence towards women because of that. Even if I was dating somebody and we're at the mall or something and there's a bag in the middle of the mall or something, she's like, you know what, I don't really feel like that's safe, that looks like a bomb or something. Let's just go. And I'll be like, okay, let's just go, because I know and stuff that intuition is powerful. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel like I was raised by my great grandmother, by the way, which like I think was a very big blessing in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she was psychic in crazy ways. Like she would have dreams that would tell her when someone's about to die in the family. She's had super specific dreams where somebody came to her, one of us came to her, said we needed help, described our situation, and when she woke up and called that person, they was actually going through what they came to her in the dream and said. Like just crazy things like that. That I don't think I've gotten to that level of intuition and being tuned in. But yeah, I just want to chime in and say that I definitely think that women, especially older, wise, um, women who are disconnected from this current way of thinking in mainstream society, like they definitely be on another level with the intuition.
I agree.
Facts.
I
Hey, can I add one
definitely.
more thing too? I forgot, and this is it's really
Mhm.
bad. That I didn't necessarily forget it, but I didn't mention it. It was like women teach you how to love too. That was another thing, to be able to have like compassion and things like that. You know what I mean? Because the women that's been around me really wanted me to be able to live a longer life. They were saving my life because they cared about me. But when I got around other males, it was like I was more expendable to them. Oh, they don't care if he died. You know what I'm saying? Come out here and do this crazy mission with us. So love was a main thing that was involved in the teaching of a female.
I love that. Well, women mentorship has helped me a lot. And I have had male mentors and female mentors. And when I started getting female mentorship, that was like a life changer. And it's helped me to understand and just honor my autonomy, wholeness, and just being a mother. And see, just the mentorship style is different from because I can learn from anybody, but the style of mentorship is a little different with women, and it has helped me so much. I'm so grateful.
I agree. Women, I've definitely got counsel from women, wisdom, um, and it's a difference. I also feel like one of the brothers was talking about how women teach men how to treat women, how men teach women how to treat men. I definitely agree with that. And I know I've been through a lot in my life, and I've gotten the best counsel from both parties. But when it comes to like being in control of my emotions, being able to express what those are, and like the women have definitely are more relatable. The men give me a lot of logic, and I need that because I am a woman. I am a lot of emotion. So um, I feel like the counsel from the women, though, I mean, it's no comparison for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else want to touch on this one? All right. So, I have last question, and I want to do this little exercise, and then we'll be able to go on about our day. Um, so how can honorable men and women better come together uh, to support and respect each other as leaders?
I think we need to stop the pissing contest. That's like the first thing that comes to my mind. Like,
Girl, yes. Agreed. Like the power struggles is real. Like, I mean, like everybody. I don't even know how to add to that. I just the pissing contest is a good one. I agree.
Mm. All right. I feel
I
like,
feel
go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like we just need to come together, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like everybody is not going to agree on everything, you know what I'm saying? We have
Yes.
different schools of thoughts, but if we can come together on a common goal, then we can
Mhm.
do so much, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just like endlessly debating each other and stuff and try to get to see, who's right and who's wrong and stuff. Let's just agree that we're all different and we all come from different parts of experiences. And if we can just have one common goal, things will go much more smoother and we can accomplish a whole lot more. And that's why I'm a real huge believer in the matriarchy, because I think that in setting up that matriarchal structure, we will finally be able to come together as a people.
Yes, definitely. Andrew said the baby grabbed the phone.
yeah, she definitely sabotaged me because she's mad. But I was saying, I definitely think we need to stop like the pissing contest between men and women. That'd be the first step. I feel like when I tune into social media, conversations, debates, whatever, there's like this really strong tendency right now to constantly try and one up each other, right? Who's the better leader? Who's the better this? Who's the whose fault was this? Whose fault was that? Who's more at fault for this? Right? There's definitely this energy of just competition and unnecessary strife, right? So I think people like one thing I think would definitely help us is resisting the knee jerk reaction to like compare ourselves and compare our struggles, right? So when you hear a woman saying this is what I go through as a woman, there shouldn't be this urge to be like, well, as men we go through this, right? Or vice versa. Um, I don't know. I think that's the first step to us coming together as divine men and women.
Right. or trying to make it a way where the person is coming from shouldn't be coming they shouldn't be coming from this way, it should be coming from a different way. It's really like that's like empathy and understanding each other. I definitely agree on not having a competition. I feel that we also need to understand the type of uh men and women that if we come together, like even in dating, for example, the question that we have about should women be leader, if you are a leader as a woman and you are strong on that, you ask the person to make sure that they have that same mindset. So understand that we have shared values. Because if one person feel like, well, the man's supposed to be above the woman, and the woman feel like, men and women are supposed to be leading together, it would be an imbalance in coming together. But if you come together with the right people, you'll have shared values and understanding, and also coming together with mutual respect and understanding that we are a team. We should have the same goals, similar goals, and yeah, I think understanding that we're in this together. So sometimes when we have disagreements or something, we handle them like that, from that mindset of together. How do we tackle the problem instead of like how we gonna point the finger and see who's the fault or whatever. So that's healthy communication, and just supporting each other's strengths and upholding integrity as well, and respecting each other's autonomy. And I think autonomy
Exactly.
is an important thing, and that's something we talked about earlier today. However, we'll have another live stream about that. Um, but everyone keeping their autonomy and respecting others' autonomy can help us come together in a more inclusive, progressive manner. And I wonder, or y'all could, yeah, if anybody else has something on that topic.
I just wanted to add on to that, and just using the highest form of love, which would be just consideration and authenticity. You know what I mean? Just having those and implementing them will make us more honorable to each other, and just having those two things.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I feel like it's very important to be able to listen, as well as like leading and following. It's the same thing. I feel like in order to get a message or deliver a message, you have to listen and participate. I feel like it's important to know that, like one of the brothers said, that we have to heal first. Like we're in the healing stages, so to be in being a healer, you can hear that when you're speaking to other people and even when you're speaking yourself. So it's like just understanding and overstanding that we're on the same frequency because we're having this conversation, but everybody is not on the same vibration. So there is a difference between frequency and vibration. I'm sure y'all know that, but you have to have compassion, empathy, and be able to listen to your peers so that you guys can find the solution together. We're this conversation is about the solutions, so we have to be able to support each other and listen to each other so that we can be there for each other and move forward in healing and in love.
Mm-hmm. And being a great leader, you'll know when to follow and when to lead. You'll honor your strengths and other strengths. Basically, I want to read off this definition again. So as we go on and think about leadership, this is a good definition, and it goes into a little detail. It says, a leader is someone who influences, motivates, and guides individuals or groups towards achieving common goals or objectives. Leadership is characterized by vision, decision making ability, accountability, and the capacity to inspire others to take action. A leader often takes responsibility for their group's direction, fosters collaboration, and ensures that the needs of the group are considered while pursuing shared success. True leadership involves a balance of authority, empathy, and adaptability, ensuring progress while maintaining trust and respect. All right. Does
Right.
anyone else have something else to say on leadership?
Do you mind if I read a little something that I thought was interesting for the mothers?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just real short.
Mhm.
It's just about strength, and I thought it was real good. It says you don't need extraordinary amounts of strength or power to strike and defeat your opponent. Instead, you need proper techniques, agility, and speed. A female who dominates proper technique remains calm in and control of herself can overpower larger and stronger males. And I thought that was powerful.
Hmm, interesting. All right. So I want to do this activity, and everybody's just going to do it with them to themselves. It might feel a little at this. It might feel a little awkward because it's like a prompt right now. But as you go on, if this is something that feels good to you, then utilize it in your day. It helps to center you. All right, so we're gonna start. It's real quick. Okay, take a deep breath and exhale slowly. Close your eyes for a moment and think of one thing you're proud of about yourself in leadership. Hold that thought and repeat to yourself quietly: I am a leader, I am capable, I am powerful. And then I want you to smile and hold the smile and open your eyes and take another deep breath and carry that energy. And let me know how that make you feel.
I would like to say earlier we did this exercise and I felt a little awkward when I got to the smiling part, but
Yeah.
this time, this is my second time doing it today, and I feel myself getting emotional
Mm,
because of the things that you said. I feel like I know that I've dimmed my light so much as a woman, um, and the internal conflict that comes from that, knowing that I'm a leader, knowing I know what to do and I know which way to go, but he won't listen, or she won't listen. No one will. They won't submit or surrender to their own will, and so I end up dimming my light. But it just made me feel very powerful. The reassurance, it was confirmation, and it felt good. Even though there were tears coming out, it felt good.
hmm
It felt good. Yeah.
Yes. Release all that doubt because you are powerful. You have amazing ideas, and all that's gonna come to light.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to talk on that? All right.
I just want to add. I just
Uh-huh.
want to add what the lady was just saying.
hmm
Um, I feel like with a lot of women, we got to just look at what she just said. Is that no doubt in yourself and not dimming your light for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like as a woman and as human beings, we just born with certain gifts and certain powers, and certain individuals may not understand what those things are. That does not mean that we stop because we're in a relationship or because we cool with somebody and everything like that. I feel you got to shine as bright as you possibly can. You got that in you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that even though you shine as bright as you can, I mean, you're gonna burn some people away that can't stand that brightness, and then you're gonna attract some people to you that understands that brightness. So
That's
just
good.
keep being the best you possibly can be, and keep on evolving and evolving and evolving, and don't be scared of your weapons, and don't be scared of what God put on your soul. Don't be scared of your purpose. Don't be scared. No fear. None of that. Because a lot of times when we get around other individuals, when they start being fearful, they start putting doubts in our head, but they don't hold that vision that we have. They don't hold that power that we have. So just keep shining bright like that. That's all I'm saying.
That's a
Thank
fact.
you so much for that. Thank you so much, God. I really appreciate that. We us women needed to hear that. Need to hear that from y'all. So I appreciate you bringing that into the atmosphere. I do.
All right. So when y'all practice this in other areas, if you like the practice, basically the science behind it is if you hold a smile for a certain period of time, it releases endorphins and reduces stress, promotes relaxation, and it actually boosts the immune system. You probably heard that when you stress, it lowers your immune system and everything. So smiling throughout the day, just trying to hold that for 30 seconds, let more or less, can actually help with your health. So with all that being said, um, we're gonna do another live stream next Sunday. I'll send out all the information and go from there. And I appreciate everyone for coming up and sharing your perspectives. Um, Leadership, women in leadership is an important topic, and leadership in general, leadership for our children, leadership for future generation is important for us to understand as we move forward, creating a new nation, a new way of life, new way of doing things. And so, grateful. I want you all to have a great night.
Yeah, thanks for hosting,
Yeah,
for
thank
hosting
you.
this live.
Yeah. Thank you for an invitation.
Thank you so much.
Yes, no problem. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, gratitude.
Peace. Honor thyself.
Peace.
Give yourself the best.